Episode 5 of The Snow Girl 2, The Soul Game begins with Juana reporting Garrido to the cops. However, Garrido claims he didn't kill Allison and he is being framed. The cops arrest him regardless as he was alone in his room on the night of her death. Meanwhile, Mirren wakes up at home and is shocked. She panics and checks her body for any violation. She has passed the test, but God's Raven refuses to tell her what happened after she passed out. Her phone shows notifications from her mom, who claims they were on call till Mirren got home. The mom believes Mirren was too drunk. In a moment of weakness, Mirren confesses that she is scared and sees her attackers everywhere she goes. It cuts to a meeting between Mirren, Jamie, Paco, Enma, Belen, and Chaparro. The cops are angry with the journalists for withholding sensitive information as Jamie and Mirren tell them about Emilia and Borja. Once they leave, Jamie is upset that Mirren didn't tell him about Borja, the tests, or her source. She insists that he needs to trust her. Meanwhile, Antonio, Alberto's lawyer, defends Garrido. The cops bring up Alicia, and he claims she is his biggest regret. He reveals that he also stopped the Soul Game long ago and he cared for Allison. At home, Mercedes and Nacho talk about the events. They have a sweet relationship, but he is lost in thought when he is asked to bring a comforter from Laura's room. Right then, Mirren and Jamie visit to ask about Garrido's relationship with Laura. Mercedes and Cristobal insist that he is a good man, but Nacho claims he is a fanatic and storms off. Mirren agrees and tries to go after him. Jamie stops her, asking about her wrist, but she waves him off and runs after the boy. Elsewhere, Chaparro and Belen talk about Mirren as they notice that she is miserable. We finally learn that Belen wants to transfer as she feels guilty for not finding Mirren's assaulters. They visit Borja, but he suddenly refuses to cooperate or testify. He simply claims the game is an urban legend. Irked, the cops decide to warn all the parents. Nacho is upset as he goes on about his grief and how he is stuck. Mirren suggests going to a safe place when he's overwhelmed. He spots Mirren's scar and realizes she is playing the game. He wants her to be careful and wants to help since it is for his sister. Test 3 requires Mirren to burn her Lost Girls Depot, the case files. She agrees once God's Raven offers to give a clue about her investigation. Meanwhile, Garrido has an alibi and no fingerprint on the Bible. He is freed, but Alberto reveals the board wants him to step down. He threatens to reveal something and Alberto claims he has dirt on Garrido too. Jamie gets a call from his dad as well. Alberto's construction company has backed out from all their deals. Jamie is shocked as he heads to Belen's debrief session with the parents of Los Arcos students. While she warns them about the Soul Game, Garrido approaches Jamie. Back to the test, Mirren and Nacho burn the files in an abandoned building. They suddenly spot the red jacket guy but are unable to catch him. As they wait, Nacho asks about Mirren's safe place. It is when she visited a beach with her parents when she was a kid. He says they are broken and kisses her. She is uncomfortable and he apologizes. At that moment, God's Raven sends her the final test of Allison. The girl is strung up, but she is in pain and gives up. As punishment, God's Raven stabs her and leaves her to die. He then sends Mirren the location for the final test, her crucifixion. Meanwhile, Garrido tells Jamie that the last game he hosted was 40 years ago. He doesn't know anything about the new edition that Allison and Borja played. But he knows that Laura's case is not related to theirs. She was not happy with Tomas and fell in love with an older man. She got pregnant and believed she was being punished. And the older man is none other than Alberto Mendoza. At the end of The Snow Girl 2, The Soul Game Episode 5, Mirren refuses to complete the game and decides to go to the cops. Nacho insists she complete the game and Borja shows up. He chokes her as Nacho reveals he is God's Raven. He claims she needs to be cleansed like Allison and she passes out. They kidnap her and drive off. We've been wondering where The Snow Girl Season 2 went wrong. The previous season had tons of high stakes, a gripping mystery and a complex narrative that had viewers on the edge of their seats and second-guessing every clue and red herring. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for this season, and this is further clear with the Snow Girl 2, The Soul Game Episode 5. The whole unraveling of the mystery that is the identity of God's Raven is painstakingly slow, with not enough elements to make it compelling. The writers also fumble with the reveal of Alberto's involvement, as there is not enough setup or a sense of danger. So far, he has been all talk and has pulled a couple of evil corporate baddie moves that don't actually fit the dark premise of the show, which focuses on the dangers of blind faith and sexual assault. Had the season expanded on the mystery and brought in the slide, the script wouldn't have felt so empty. We doubt the finale can save the season, but for Mirren's sake, we hope she gets some closure.